If you budget and plan and do the right things and you still feel stuck financially, this video is for you. Welcome to Faith Budgets. I'm Holly. For most of you, this is the first time you're seeing my face. You usually just see my hands and hear my voice as I'm talking about my budget and cash stuffing my cash envelopes. I have my friend Alicia here today. We're here to share something exciting because whenever we have something exciting, we want to share it. If you're new here, my channel is all about budgeting and being intentional with money and building financial stability in real life, not just tracking numbers on paper. I share budgeting because it gives you control, but today I want to talk about something that a budget alone cannot solve, and that is margin. If you are familiar with Dave Ramsey's shovel to hole ratio, we want to talk about getting a bigger shovel to get out of that hole. But the hole does not necessarily have to mean getting out of debt. It can be any financial goal that you have, whatever you're working on at the time. And we just want to get that shovel bigger to get out of the hole quicker. So being divorced, I've had to kind of change things up. I have a single income now, so it's just me, and I've had to shift things around and change my priorities. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. But you guys have been my people. The last 2 years were probably the hardest of my life. And with losing my mom and just some personal things that I went through with my health, this channel's been my go-to. It's my lifeline, and it's given me a purpose. So I'm so very thankful for this channel. I want to give you that hope and that encouragement, the motivation that can change everything for somebody that maybe feels stuck or alone, or like you just can't get out of the hole. So I want to give that motivation, hopefully, to someone like that. Here's the truth that we don't talk about much. We don't say it out loud, that there's a ceiling to being frugal. Like you can only be frugal so much. You can only cut expenses. Eventually, it's going to stop working. So you can cut the subscriptions, you can shop sales, you can meal plan, meal prep, you can do the coupons, but you still feel stuck. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because cutting those expenses eventually runs out of room. And that's not failure. That's just math. We know numbers here on this channel. We know all about math. So if that's been you, then I want you to hear this. Where the question shifts from what else can I cut to what can I add that actually makes sense. So extra income can bring your budget all that breathing room for those emergencies or those unexpected expenses. It can speed up your goals, create options for you. It can turn your dreams into realities. So when I started thinking about adding extra income, I was thinking I needed to have some rules set for that. So I wanted to require low upfront cost and not involve any inventory for me to have to keep up with. And it had to fit into small pockets of my time because I am still employed full time, even though I work from home. And it had to be scalable so that I could not trade hours for dollars. And I wasn't looking for a hustle, I was looking for a tool, a financial tool to help me. So for me, that tool ended up being Plexus. So before you click away, I'm not talking about quitting your job or getting getting rich quick or abandoning your whole budget. I'm talking about adding income category that works with your budget. So I treat it like intentional income. That means it can be used on whatever I want it to be. I can use it for my financial goals, for building my margin, for absorbing the unexpected expenses, or growing my long-term sinking funds. And you guys know how much I love the products. You've heard me talk about them all the time. So I'm obsessed with the products, but I won't go into that here. I'm going to link that video below going over all the products that I love and share all about the ingredients and all that. I nerded out on you guys. So that'll be below. And I just wanted to share that with you. And this is Alicia. She is a mom and a wife, and she has going to tell us a little bit about her story and about how this has changed her life, like a lot of other women that have used this to completely change their financial picture. So tell us all about it, Alicia.
Yeah, hi everybody. It is so nice to get to share my story with you. When Holly and I talked about this video and we talked about doing this together, I was like, absolutely, because I feel like I relate to a lot of people. Because you see, sometimes I can't even believe I'm sitting here making a YouTube video with Holly, sharing about a network marketing company because I was so skeptical. It took me 2.5 years to finally say yes to Plexus. And it certainly wasn't a yes to do a business by any means. It wasn't anything about the money. You see, I came to Plexus because of my health. I have a background in health and wellness. I taught weight loss, wellness, nutrition, and diabetic education for years. And so, about 8 years ago, when I put on 40 pounds in 4 months in my late 20s, I was flabbergasted. Had a thriving flower farm at the time. So, obviously, I moved all the time. Health was important. So, I ate good, and all doctors ran tests. We didn't know what was wrong. And from there, I just became very frustrated over the years because it was just a cycle that continued. So I came to Plexus in the fall of 2024, so a little over a year ago, because I had had a really bad experience with a GLP-1. I had decided to use one to help me lose weight. It was working for everybody else. I don't even like to use Tylenol, but I was just desperate. I was really just in survival mode with my motherhood, and something had to give. And I tried it. The GLP-1 caused severe anxiety and depression for me. I had to come off of it after 5 weeks. And here's where Plexus entered into my life. The girl that I ended up buying from, her name is Alita. She had made a post about these products, and I had actually reached out to Alita 2.5 years before. She was making a post. I saw a message. I messaged her, and like I said, y'all, I was so skeptical. I didn't even respond to her. I was like, nope, close my computer. It's just a MLM. It's a network marketing company. Like, these can't be good anyway. Someone's just trying to sell me something. The same thoughts most of us have had. And so, anyways, I just ignored her. But like I said, I came to really just a point in my motherhood, especially, that something had to change. And she had told me these products had a 60-day money back guarantee. They were all natural, and that was really important to me. And so I thought, what the heck? Got nothing to lose. And so I won't tell you a whole lot about my health story, except that it flipped my world right side up. I was starting to be the mom that I wanted to be. I went from praying for bedtime every day for my kids to, not saying I don't ever wish bedtime would come, but I've got a 4 and 2 year old. But I'm enjoying my motherhood. It's just the normal hard. But so I started to share. Alita had told me multiple times she knew I was loving the products, and she was like, "Girl, just you should share that." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no." I don't, no. I didn't want anyone to know I'd ordered the products. But like I said, when I started feeling so much better, it's just natural as a mama, especially, that we share with other people when something is helping us out. And so I decided I just had to share this. So I just told a few people about it. And especially, like said, Holly said, this is something with no inventory, anything like that. It was a free referral link. I just made a post on my social media, and people were relating to it. They said, yeah, I could use some help with this. I felt this way too. And so Alita had told me, when you had three people, you guys can tell we're Southerners, can't you? You had three people place an order, which was similar to mine, that I would get a little over $300. And I was like, well, I don't know three people that's going to do this, but whatever. I'm just going to share. I feel good, right? Well, lo and behold, three people ordered. And actually, my first three people was my mom, my stepdad, who both legitimately needed the products, and a lady on the internet who just connected with it. And I thought, okay, here we go. So I got $300. At that time, I'd ordered 2 months worth of products that more than covered what I had ordered. And I was like, okay, I like this because not only am I a stay-at-home mom, obviously I'm a single income household. Okay, so my husband is in sales. He does well enough to able for us to stay home, but we have to make a lot of sacrifices for that to happen. And not just sacrifices financially, but sacrifices with our time. Money is not everything, but it definitely creates options. And when I got that first amount of money hit my bank account from just sharing from my phone, it didn't interrupt my motherhood. It was not complicated. I had been praying for a way for our life to be a little bit easier. I wanted my husband to be home with more with my children. I wanted some financial breathing room. I wanted to send my son to a farm to school program that's in my area that I loved, but it just would have really stretched our budget at the end. And I didn't want the stress of that every month, but I wanted him to have the education that I wanted for him. And I had actually been praying for a way for something to come in. And as this started to go, I'm sharing something that I love, something that's helping people. I took a look at this as a way of having an answered prayer to bring both time and finances back into my family. I love it so much. I was still a little skeptical for a while, not skeptical so much anymore, but hesitant because most have had experience with the network marketing field by the time you're in your 30s. And I was just very hesitant. But the more I shared, the more I got to know the people that was here. I really loved this culture that was built here. It was different. It was people that were doing network marketing the way it can and should be done. It was with a community of people that were leading with their heart. And that's why I wholeheartedly believe we're successful. We're not a group of women that are just trying to share something that to make a sale. Obviously, you make sales in this industry, but it's about building people. It's about helping people. It's about growing a team and seeing people, some for the very first time in their life, of feeling confidence in themselves. And I'm so thankful. I have never paid for my products out of my own bank account ever since I started sharing. There is a need. You've heard from Holly. It's in the gut health space, which now is a buzzword. And let me tell you, it may be a buzzword, but it's here to stay, because once you start to heal your gut, you don't want it to go away. I will never go back. I will never ever go back. And I have plenty of people say the same. I have women who will order for months, feel good, think that they can do it differently, and they come off and they come right back on it because they were just feeling so good. Your gut health is so important. So I love the longevity. I love that I don't have inventory. I don't spend any more than what I spend on myself anyways for my own products. That's the only stipulation that I have. So I love how Holly said that she wasn't looking for a hustle. She was looking for a tool. This is a tool that is building my family's life. It has completely changed my family's life. And the biggest regret I have is that I let my skepticism get in the way for 2.5 years. It's truly one of the one and only regrets that I have with stepping into this. Now I have hope for the first time in a long time that my husband is going to be able to be home more with my family, for him to have a job that he enjoys more, to have more quality time together, for us to have some financial breathing room. I told y'all I wanted my son to go to a farm to school program. I have been able to pay for that every single month with what I've made from my Plexus money. It's things like that that make such a big and impactful difference. And so I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I just want to thank you for hearing me out and letting me share my story with you. And you guys, Holly is fantastic. I get to work with her on a day-to-day basis. And when you start working with people like that, like, you see them truly. And Holly is literally a heart-led person. She wants the best for people. And I know she loves you guys. She told me, she's like, these are my people, man. I'm like, all right, well, let's go treat them good. let's share with them ways to get some more money. And it's really a great environment to be with. So I'm gonna kick it back over to Holly. Thank you guys again for letting me share my story with you guys tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing your story. Oh man. And I'm just so glad that our paths cross and we do get to, continue this journey together. I'm so excited. So excited to see how it's going to go. As a budgeter and a planner, this has been a really good, smart money move for me. It's not for everyone, I know it's not for everyone, and that's okay. But it was a smart money move for me, and it was a smart money move for Alicia and her family. And it's also been smart for other women. I've been inspired by several different women in this company that have been through some, things that could bring anybody down, tragedy, loss, but they've rose to the occasion. They've built stability here in this company. So if you're curious about actually how this works, any of it, if you have any questions about anything, I'm going to leave the information below. And you can leave a comment down below, or you can email me. I have my email down below as well. I'd love to chat with you about it. I love talking about the products. And if you have any questions about how all this works, I'd love to talk to you about that. No pressure, just clarity. And I guess I will see you guys in my next video. It'll probably be a budgeting video. And until then, I hope you find blessings in all the little things. Thanks.